Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome in to your weekly energy read. As you can see, I'm in a different location than I was yesterday. If you watched any of those previous uploads, I am lucky to have found a park that has some tables that are good for shuffling on, and it's covered. I'm actually over by a river. There's some wonderful trees and birds, cool sounds. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with your personal values, tap into the overall energies, what this message will be about for you, Scorpio. So we have variety, unity. What else? For Scorpio, please. Truth and clarity. Autonomy. Okay. Interesting. There's sort of a juxtaposition there between unity and autonomy. Peace. Okay. Let's see what we have from the sacred forest. For Scorpio, please. For Scorpio. Truth and clarity. Okay. We have first wisdom again. Okay, wisdom just came out in the reading for Leo with owl spirit. Okay. The truth, in reverse. Scorpio. Well, I'm not going to say anything, but we'll just see. One more shuffle. For Scorpio, please. Okay. Joy. Okay, that's okay. This is not bad, but this is a little bit concerning because I don't want to believe it's you who's not telling the truth, but this is the same woman. If you notice in these cards. Let's just get a little bit more energy and clarity and information, please. Okay. And this is the, oh, what a lovely shuffle. This is the Woodland Wardens deck. And it's a little strange. Sorry, I'm not totally up in the camera. The table itself is like at chest height, so it's a little strange to even keep my hands on the table and shuffle. But let's clarify wisdom, please. Whoa. Okay. Wisdom, boundaries. Then we have creative ingenuity in reverse. So you're lying to yourself. Joy. Joy, please. Loyalty. Yeah, self-loyalty. And I just got crazy chills as confirmation. Yeah, you're coming up against some sort of, with this plane flying above, some sort of interference or some sort of blockage. And you're being encouraged to have graceful persistence, but it feels like you're flying against the wind rather than into the wind or allowing it to uplift you in some way. So just give me a moment to feel out these energies a little bit more. Take a look at the numbers, because they're always important. Yeah. It's really strange because yesterday I got a very strong sense that these readings had to do with career, and starting again with Leo, that scenario is very career, job oriented, and I'm getting that again here. But what I'm getting is a little bit different. What I'm getting from this is you might have found yourself, or you might be noticing that the things that used to bring you this joy in whatever role you're working in or whatever you do, quote unquote, for a living. And I just saw the clock change from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 5. So it feels like there's a sort of sequence to this. That joy is no longer able to sustain you, right? And what I'm getting from this with hummingbird spirit is the idea that hummingbirds they constantly need to have some sort of nectar, right? Because their heart beats at like a ridiculous speed. They are constantly flapping their wings. I don't even know how they sleep, really. So I'm not going to go ahead and pretend like I'm a biologist. But what I'm getting from this is there's sort of a lack of nectar. There's a lack of valuable or valid, that's not the word I'm looking for, viable. There's a lack of viable flowers for you to, get your food from or get your energy source from. But really, we're talking about joy. So there's sort of a depletion in the joy that you find in your work or whatever you do for your job, and it feels like you're aware of this with wisdom. Okay, and so this is you reflecting on that. And what I get from this, the owl itself is actually maybe a spirit guide or some sort of guardian angel who's sending you messages, or maybe you interpret messages from nature, from working with animals, that sort of thing. But what I'm really getting here is this: you can see how pensive this woman is. And that's you doing this introspection, doing this reflection on where did the joy go? What's preventing this? And what I understand from this is whatever role you work in, it feels like there might be, what is that? Climbing on my selenite, weird. It feels like there might be distractions. There might be, rather than unity, there might be sort of division in whatever team that you're a part of. And it doesn't feel like that has always been the case. It feels like this is sort of a newer energy coming into wherever you call home in terms of your job, right? It feels like there may have been a change in the team that you are on, or a change to the department that you're in, where in the past you had the variety, right? You had the ability, you had a tight-knit team as well with unity, and you had, you had a little bit more autonomy to choose what your everyday looked like. And because you had that variety and you had that autonomy, it kept things interesting, right? It kept you creative, and it kept you feeling joyful because you were happy to do something new and something different every day when you came into that place of work. What I just understood, or what I just sort of got, was maybe it wasn't your team that changed. Maybe it was your manager, your direct report, who you report directly to, and they are different from the previous manager or the previous leadership that was in place. And rather than allowing you to have that autonomy and sort of live freely but still get the job done and still be a valuable contributor, they've sort of put boundaries up and tried to micromanage you. Yeah, and we have this bird in the background making itself known. It feels very much like you are reflecting on this change, and you're becoming aware of the fact that you might need to move on. You might need to, and it doesn't have to mean move on from that company, right? You might just need to change where you are in the organization or what team you work on to better suit your desires for not variety, but not the same old every single day. And the reason why, when this card came out with the truth in reverse, it feels like, yes, you've done this introspection, you're aware of it, and you might have even had some sort of visitor come and tell you, come and point it out to you, make it obvious, some sort of message, right? But the sort of resistance and hesitancy that I got when this card came out is exactly that. You are resistant and hesitant toward sitting in this truth, sitting in the fact that you know that you can move on to better things. And I just noticed that this woman, as opposed to this one, is actually wearing a crown. So it's almost like you know that you are more valuable than you're being used for. And what's crazy is I just looked out, and there's this black bird hopping on rocks that looks exactly like this raven here. So either you have like spirit guides that you interact with who've sort of keyed you in on this, or you should keep an eye out for, I know this sounds silly, but messengers that will confirm this to you, confirm this truth to you. But what I'm really getting is that you already know this, and the boundaries that have been put up are impacting your creative ingenuity, your creative spirit. Okay, and that doesn't mean that you do something in the creative field. You don't have to be like an artist or a sculptor or an author to be creative in the ways that you handle problems that come to you in your career or in your job every day. Okay, just being able to look at something with a different perspective, this being a 2 card, right? Being able to have that unity, being able to see somebody, put yourself in somebody else's shoes and try to solve problems or solve conflict in an innovative way is in itself a form of creative ingenuity. And here we have passion flowers. So yeah, very much, and this came in reverse, it very much feels like these boundaries that have been implemented by whatever change came through is sort of stifling you or not allowing you to express your passion fully. Okay, so excuse the noise in the background. We have what's that called? The street cleaner Okay, so that's a little tough, but I like that we have joy here at the end, and then we have loyalty as well. So loyalty with the Hound and the Pair. And what's really strange is this is the first time that this card has come out for me. I don't read the book very often, so I don't even know what the true message behind this is, but what I can sort of assume is dogs are loyal creatures, right? The Hound. And the Pair, what's really coming through strongly for me is a book that I read by an author called Anthony Williams. He's known as the medical medium. And one thing that he recommends for people who are recovering from some sort of like illness and need nourishment, but they might not have a settled stomach, is eating pears, like just like focusing on pears and eating pears, you know, pear juice, pears in smoothies, because there's something very replenishing and nourishing about them. And what I love about this energy is that it feels like you're aware that there are no longer flowers for you to sort of go to. The flowers that you used to tap for your nectar, for that joy, are no longer around, and your awareness to that is bringing you to have the self-loyalty, to have the self-confidence, and have the trust in yourself to be able to move on to those greener pastures or to those gardens that are full of flowers that you've never been to before. And it's just a very, almost like a peaceful energy, because you know, I'm really strongly getting some sort of external guidance, some sort of divine guidance here. Yes, you have surety. That's again the second time that I've used that word incorrectly. You have certainty within yourself, and you're loyal to yourself and your desires to have this variety and this autonomy within whatever you do. And in doing so, it'll bring more opportunities sort of to you that will be nourishing in those more creative and autonomous aspects. Weird. Okay, so this really just came in right now. You might consider starting your own business. That's not to say if this message is resonating with you and you recently did have a new boss or your team did change, that's not to say go ahead and leave that right away. It might just be a little bit of encouragement to start a side hustle and see how you do with that. But what's strange is I almost get this idea of, if you were to go out on your own and start this side hustle and do the autonomous thing for you, it's almost like people will notice and be drawn to you, and it'll create a community. It'll create unity almost from where you came from. So I don't want to say that you're gonna like start your own business, right? And the people where you used to work are gonna come work for you, but that is very much the scenario that I got in my head. So be careful with that in terms of legality, right? But very strong encouragement to, if you don't have your own business or you don't have your own side hustle, the little blackbird came back on the rock. You're being encouraged to explore those avenues, because you might actually find a lot of joy in them. You might find a lot of joy in creating a place where people can have unity, creating a place where people have autonomy to do the job that they've been hired to do, but without boundaries and without having, somebody super controlling. Because when you open up that opportunity to people, and what I mean by that is when you put your trust in them and you say, hey, I know I hired you to do this. I'm not gonna, nitpick or what's the word I'm looking for? Hover over you and try to micromanage. I'm gonna trust you to get the job done. It's actually really empowering for other people to see that, and see that you trust them, and see that you've put your own loyalty in them. So there's a certain like reciprocity and real like cyclical energy here in terms of the future, and however this is resonating with you. Okay, so this is a really beautiful energy. This is the second reading where the energies that want to come out are sort of singing the praises of the person who might be watching this. So good for you, Scorpio. Just to close out, I'm going to grab a crystal for you. Hopefully this sounds better. I did say in my previous reading that I now have a microphone, like a standalone microphone. So hopefully it's picking up better than the one on my phone alone. But let's just grab one crystal One, well, we'll see. Whenever I say one crystal, like 6 come out. So let's just grab 1 or 2 crystals for Scorpio, please, to help support these energies of sitting in your joy, right? Not denying your truth and being flexible to whatever the situation is. Wow, 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 wow. Go ahead and check out the Leo reading where Rainbow Obsidian literally came out again. And this is the second time that I feel very much, it's not saying heal your heart because there's some sort of something broken or there's some sort of hurt in it. It's actually saying protect your heart, right? So we see very clearly Rainbow Obsidian gets its color, gets these pinks and these purples and these blues from gas that's been trapped during lava and during during an eruption and the cooling of lava, okay? So there's something about almost encapsulating and capturing the energies of the past before this change came in and made things uncomfortable for you, and I don't want to say took your joy away, but sort of capturing that, holding on to that idea and allowing it to protect the vision that you have, allowing it to protect your energy. So less heal your heart and more protect your heart, protect your passion, protect your joy and those energies. Yeah, and I just cut and split to hematite, saying ground yourself, okay? So as with any change, you know, there's going to be fluctuations. It's change, right? So it might be uncomfortable. You're being encouraged to do things that allow you to ground yourself during that time. I just noticed as well, 222 might be, oh, there's another 2 here. So 222 might be a number that, an angel number that you might want to look at after this reading. But what I just sort of surmised from this is, and this tying well nicely into your unity as well, is this might be a venture that I was talking about, where you actually come together with another person, okay? That's nice. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. So, per the Leo reading again, find your calm, blue lace agate. This exact card came out not too long ago for the Leo reading that I just finished. So, what is this saying? This is saying something, and it's not coming to me right now, but eventually it'll come through. Obviously, this is saying you can use and leverage blue lace agate to find your calm in this transition process, but there's more to this here. Find your flow as well. Yeah, and then thank you for this perfect confirmation to end out the reading. Well, there's 2, so I'll take them both. But start fresh. This is literally underscoring what I was saying. You might need to start fresh in a new role in that company, or you might need to start fresh on your own and go out on your own and be loyal to yourself, be loyal to your joy, and put yourself in a role that allows you to have that variety and autonomy that you're seeking, okay? And in doing so, like I said, you will attract a community that will sort of bring you that unity and that happiness, team energy. And just to close it out, Labradorite, see the magic, right? So change can be tough, but the more that you hold a perspective of what can I learn from this? How can I see the magic in this situation? How are things working out for me that I didn't even consider? The more that you can walk away with those beneficial energies and sit less in the woe is me, this sucks, this is uncomfortable, I'm unsure, that sort of thing. Okay, so you're sort of being encouraged with Labradorite being a stone that when you pick it up might not be flashy, but you hit it at the right angle and then you get that beautiful blue flash or that beautiful yellow flash. It's like you kind of have to look for the good and look for the light in the darkness because it's there. And as soon as you see it, you'll sort of see how everything is connected and is benefiting you in this situation. So to bring it down, back down to earth a little bit, give you more tangible advice, Rainbow Obsidian, Blue Lace Agate, Chrysocolla, and Labradorite might be some crystals that you could work with to help support you in these energies. Okay, so if this message resonated with you at all, go ahead and check those out. And if it did resonate with you, please go ahead and consider giving this message a like. Comment below. I am going to upload this to you. Yeah, ignite your passions, follow your passions. I am going to upload this to YouTube, so if you are watching this there, please consider subscribing to be in the know for more messages. If this is where we part. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a fantastic rest of your week. Some really great energy, Scorpio, so soak it up, okay?